clouds deep in my heart.
Welcome to the Autism Resource Hub. Today, we are exploring how to train inclusive Grade 3 teachers on personalized digital twins, or PDT. The program needs to shift the mindset from viewing it as a complex technological tool to viewing PDT as an AI pedagogical assistant that predicts and personalizes teaching. Redefining PDT for teachers' mindset requires understanding its true nature within the inclusive classroom context, not medical records, diagnostic tests, or complex IT software. What it is a living, dialing copy of a student's learning, behavior, emotions, and social interactions, continuously updated to tailor daily teaching. Goal is to shift from mass teaching to personalized teaching.
Tomorrow's dawn will bring the light, a brighter sun to end the night. Oh, my child, my heart's own song. I'll walk with you where you belong. Through every shadow, every fear, my love will always hold you near. Dawn will bring the light.
Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into some pretty incredible technology, something that could completely change how we support autistic children. We're talking about creating a digital replica of their unique minds. And no, this is not science fiction. It's a brand new frontier for a more empathetic, effective kind of education. And we're going to break down exactly how it all works. I mean, that's really the core question, isn't it? For so long, we've focused on behavior, what we can see on the outside. But what if we could go deeper? What if technology could help us understand the cognitive processes that actually shape how a child experiences the world from the inside? So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with why third grade is such a make or break year. Then we'll get into the main event, the personalized digital twin itself. After that, we'll see how it's used to simulate real-world situations, how it helps empower parents and teachers, and finally, we'll look at the incredible, inspiring vision that's driving all of this. All right, so third grade. Why is this age, around 8 or 9 years old, so important? Well, it's a huge transition. Academically, kids suddenly shift from learning to read to reading to learn. And socially, the playground gets way more complicated. Friendships are more nuanced, group dynamics are trickier, and for an autistic child, navigating all of this at once can be incredibly overwhelming. So, the big question is, how do we support them through this really critical time? This is where a totally new approach comes into the picture. It's a technology that's not just about watching and reacting to behavior, but about actually modeling a child's one-of-a-kind cognitive landscape. It's called a personalized digital twin, or PDT for short. Now, don't think of this like some simple video game avatar. It's more like a living, breathing digital map of a child's mind. It uses a very specialized type of AI called personalized deep neural networks to build a functional replica of their specific thought processes and neural pathways. So, how in the world do you build something like this? Well, it's not based on guesswork at all. The PDT pulls together hard data from a few different places. You've got neuroimaging to literally map brain activity, live feeds from wearable sensors that track things like heart rate, and, of course, their academic results. All of this gets combined to create this incredibly rich, dynamic profile. And this right here is the fundamental shift. It's a huge conceptual leap. For decades, a lot of support systems were all about managing behaviors. But the PDT changes the game completely. It's all about understanding the why behind the what, getting a glimpse into the internal cognitive and emotional world that leads to a specific action. And this is where the PDT's real power starts to show. It has these amazing predictive capabilities. On the academic side, it can analyze the neural stuff behind learning. So it might predict that a child is going to hit a wall with abstract math, which tells you a more visual, hands-on approach would work better. Then, on the other side, it can simulate their emotional response to social stress, like a sudden fire drill or the feeling of being left out of a game. It's like a forecast for both their academic and emotional world.
Okay, having all this information is great, but what do you do with it? Well, this is where the PDT becomes an incredibly powerful simulator. It creates a safe digital playground to practice strategies and interventions before you have to use them in the real world.
Let's break it down. For academics, it can predict those cognitive roadblocks we talked about and help design a daily schedule that actually works with the child's mind, not against it. Socially, a teacher can run simulations of tricky playground scenarios, practicing the best way to step in before a real problem happens. Emotionally, it can give early warnings about rising anxiety, maybe a little ping on a smartwatch that lets a teacher know a student's stress levels are spiking and they might need a quiet break. And for self-reliance, it can track their progress on all those crucial daily living skills that are part of their individualized education plan. But hold on, this brings up a massive question. To train parents and teachers to use a tool like this, you need data. Lots and lots of it. But a child's neurological and emotional data is about as personal and sensitive as it gets. So how do you let people practice without ever compromising that child's privacy? The solution is actually pretty brilliant. Researchers use powerful AI like GPT-4 to generate synthetic data. Basically, they create simulated data sets that mimic real-world scenarios, like communication challenges or emotional spikes. And get this, it's 83% accurate when compared to real clinical data. This is a game changer because it allows for really robust, effective training, all in a completely safe and private way. So with a smart way to handle the data safely, the focus can turn to the real goal here, empowering the most important people in a child's life. The PDT is really designed to create a unified support system, finally bridging that gap between what happens at home and what happens at school. And this creates this amazing synergy, right? At home, a parent can use the PDT to really understand their child's internal world, to know when they need support or when they just need some space. Meanwhile, in the classroom, the teacher can use that same data to adapt the lesson or the environment on the fly. Suddenly, everyone's working from the same playbook, and that playbook is written by the child's actual moment-to-moment needs. The training for parents is super practical. First, they learn how to actually read the data so they can see when their child is getting overwhelmed and might need a break. They practice different ways of prompting and offering support, guided by feedback from the PDT. They can even use AI to whip up personalized social stories for tricky situations at home. And, what's so important, seeing their child's progress through the data helps them build their own confidence and manage their stress. For teachers, the training helps turn the PDT into what the source material calls a digital scaffold. They learn to use proven frameworks like SET and Universal Design for Learning to tweak the classroom environment based on real-time sensory data. They get to practice handling tough classroom moments in realistic simulations. And they learn how to build what are called 3D IEPs, which combine the usual academic goals with all this rich PDT data to really focus on a child's strengths, not just their challenges. So when you put all of these pieces together, the tech, the data, the training, you realize it's all building towards something much bigger. It's a vision for the future of personalized education that could be truly transformative. And this isn't just some vague idea, It's being rolled out with a whole suite of professional tools. There are learning management systems to track how the training is going, digital badges that people earn for mastering new skills, and even specific grading rubrics to see how well the adults are using the data to make supportive decisions. It's a serious, scalable system. But the ultimate goal, the real heart of it all, is captured perfectly in this quote. It's about building a neuro-affirming world. A world that doesn't just tolerate neurological differences, but one that actively works to understand, support, and celebrate every child's unique biological and cognitive rhythms.
And that really leaves us with this one final thought to chew on. What if we could build an education system that was tailored not just to what a child needs to learn, but to the intricate, beautiful, and completely unique way that their individual mind actually works? That's the future this technology is hoping to build.
Loneliness you hide. How can I reach you? Stand by your side. I'm lost, searching through the maze, through crowded streets and strangers' gaze. You hold the last rays of the afternoon's glow.